Hey y'all, this is Evan Sledge.
TJ Ryan.
We're with Whiskey Morning Coffee. Tell them where we're at, TJ.
Well, we're here in beautiful Seelof, Alaska. Evan and I actually work as fishing guides full time from May to August. And if you'd asked me 6 months ago, we wouldn't have been in the coffee business. But, a good idea came across us and we just had to run with it.
We sure did. We didn't plan on it, but we were sitting around the fire one night, and we started looking at different trends that were happening, and we were like, man, remember drinking Folgers with our granddad and stuff, and now everybody's drinking Starbucks, and then we were like, now it's turning into a local consumer experience, your local roaster, and we saw another trend that was happening in the distilleries. We said, man, everyone used to drink Jack Daniels, and now it's all about that local guy with the 50-gallon still, in your county, just doing moonshine and whiskey. And while we were sitting there, we were like, well, I come from a 3-generation distilling background. My granddad, Dub Sledge, started moonshining in World War II. When he came home and died, my dad, he started Sledge Distillery, a distillery there in Hood County, which is one of those local community distilleries. And we said, well, we got a lot of whiskey barrels laying around, and we don't really tie in with your local hipster coffee guys. We're like, let's make coffee how we like it. Let's age coffee beans in these whiskey barrels. So that's pretty much the beginning of Whiskey Morning Coffee. We started there, custom made our own roasters, and next thing we know, people just start buying it like crazy.
Wildfire.
We were trying to keep up with online orders, and while that whole thing was going on, me and TJ were getting ready to come to Alaska to do our full-time job to pay the bills, and we're like, wow, we got a real business running here with Whiskey Morning. Started getting some retailer outlets, online orders were booming, and then we got accepted into the Mass Challenge program, which is the largest accelerator in the world. So we were chosen as one of the top 72 startups in the country to participate in this program to accelerate the business. And that's when us and the rest of the team looked at each other and said, this is a real deal. And we got to go up to Alaska and pay the bills. But when we get home, we're going full-time Whiskey Morning Coffee and seeing where it's taking us. So you're probably wondering, if y'all are in Alaska, who's back home in Texas roasting that coffee? Tune in.
What's up, guys? We are Whiskey Morning Coffee. My name is Clay McNutt. I work for a restoration and cleaning company called Stomatic here in Fort Worth. I help with the day-to-day between the corporation and the franchises. But these guys are my best friends. We've been together since day one. And when they asked me to be a part of Whiskey Morning Coffee, I jumped at the opportunity because I loved the product, I loved the brand, and I wanted to get involved. I was anxious to get involved. So here we are today.
Yeah, and I'm Josh Yarbrough. So currently I'm a full-time master's student at Stephen F. Austin State University. I'm a geology student there, so it's kind of what I've always been about, is this passion of being outdoors, that sort of deal. And then this whole thing came along and I got a huge passion for this coffee. It's a fantastic product, love this stuff. But anyways, I'm also a teaching assistant during the school year, so I'll teach a few labs here and there during the semester, just a few every week. And so that's kind of what I do, but a little more on our product. So our boys up north have already talked about it. We're Whiskey Morning Coffee. We're the barrel-aged coffee, and this is some of the best damn stuff this side of the Mississippi. Woo! Woo! And I'll let Clay here talk a little bit about our sales.
Yeah, so sales and marketing have been slow. That is due to we work full-time, like you said, and our other two partners are in Alaska on other ventures. So the manpower we lack, and also the capital. But the good news is we have done plenty of events and we've gotten nothing but good feedback from people. People really do like the product. They love the brand. So it really makes sense. And if we could just find more time and capital, we really think we could launch this thing and come up with some legitimate marketing strategies to boost our sales.
Right, and I mean, it's been just since September and we've had $15,500 in revenue since then. So I mean, it's been a little bit slow, but that's just mostly due to the fact that, one, we've been full-time students when this whole deal was going on, full-time working. We got a lot of stuff going on, but our main goal with this is that we're trying to take these events, pitches, competitions that we're doing, kind of take that and help us to accelerate, hyper grow this company to where we're doing this stuff full-time in just a few months. That's what we're aiming to do with this. we got another fantastic idea, sort of similar to this fantastic coffee here. But the good idea that we have is our white labeling that we're going to do. We're going to do that with distilleries across Texas. We've currently talked to 3. One's already signed with it. The other 2 are really interested. So what we'll do is, let's say someone likes TX whiskey. So we would go to TX, we'd ask TX for some barrels, we'd take those barrels, and then we'd age our coffee beans in TX barrels rather than what we've been aging them in. So once we do that, we come up with the Whiskey Morning Coffee TX blend. We'd take that, put it on our website. We'd give TX like 2% of the sale from that. So they're getting money for basically not doing anything. So the companies that we've talked to, they're all about that. And another cool thing is that it's going to get us a lot more exposure. So TX whiskey drinkers, everyone knows whiskey drinkers, proud people. We're proud people. No, but TX whiskey drinkers, I mean, they're proud people. And so once they see something that's TX, they're going to jump all over it. So no one has actually done this in the distillery market. We've talked to a bunch of different distilleries. They've been telling us no one's came to them with this sort of idea yet. So that's kind of what we're looking to do, is spread that whole deal across Texas and become the unofficial coffee of Texas. We're Whiskey Morning Coffee.
Whiskey Morning Coffee, baby.